again. I'm joined this morning here by Kurt, our exec pastor, and we're going to take the next 5 minutes or so to give you a little bit of a financial update, to fill you in on where we've been, where we currently are, and where we're headed financially as a church. So, Kurt, take it away.
Yeah, we want to keep you informed. We want to remember regularly, this is our church, this is what we are a part of collectively, and obviously there's much more to our church than our finances, but our finances are a significant tool and something that we need in order to exist well and to fulfill our mission. And so first off, we wanted to just let you know how last year finished up. So I want to first just give you a sense of what our budget looked like compared to our actuals. So what you can see on the top is our budgeted numbers for 2019-2020, and what you can see on the bottom are how the actual numbers settled out. So you'll notice, if you're looking towards the bottom, revenue was down, which is fair. A pandemic did hit us, but also our expenses were down compared to what we projected. And we knew that the loss of revenue was going to come, in particular on our rental income, but we were able to pivot, and our staff did a really great job of responding to the situation we faced and cutting back our expenses appropriately. Ministries scale back spending. We did, as you understand, furlough some staff, especially through the summer months when things were more quiet. And we were able to defer 3 months of mortgage payments. All of these things helped us to kind of keep our expenses in track, especially as we really didn't know what to expect when it came to donations and revenue and those sorts of things. The good news is that, the donation cutback was not as extreme as we expected. And at the end of the day, we ended up finishing off 2019-2020 with about a $48,000 surplus, which is really great. And so that brings us into our now current and upcoming fiscal year. And so this is what our budget looks like coming ahead. So again, this is a comparison just for perspective. So the top numbers are again last year's budget, and then the bottom numbers are our current year's budget, just so you can kind of see how we've been responding to the pandemic and just the realities that it means for church life. So just a few noteworthy changes. First off, ministries, we did make some significant reductions in our expenses for children and youth ministry. Part of that is just the reality that our ministries have been disrupted. We're not able to do what we would normally like to do in a ministry season, but also we have just said to our pastors, we just have to operate with a different set of expectations this year. We just don't know what to expect in terms of available resources, and we just want to be wise in this season. Wages are down, you'll notice, and that's largely, again, due to the summer months when we had reduced hours for some of our staff. Some of our staff were furloughed for a few months. Todd Peters, as you know, has resigned, and we've yet to replace him. So we have had some of those expenses drop back. We have, however, not made any major decisions regarding staff. We've not laid anybody off permanently. We're mostly riding out the wave of the pandemic and seeing what it holds. Also with that, we have reduced our cleaning contract. So things like that have helped us cut back costs. Operations, you'll see a big reduction there. That's largely due to the fact that we're not running our cafe. We didn't produce a journal. We have no capital major expenditures coming this year. In previous years, we've done some upgrades to the building, doing high-efficiency lights and those kind of things. There are no kind of upgrade projects in mind for the year ahead. We've brought back our maintenance budget. And, the reality is, too, we are projecting reduced expenses for utilities. So that's also good news, where we're seeing some reductions there as well. So yeah, and then, we are still expecting there to be a reduction in donations, but we're not sure. So we're trying to be reasonable, conservative as we plan for the season ahead. We do want you to be aware that on the finance side of things, you'll see an increase there in our mortgage, and that again is because we basically took 3 months of mortgage payments from last year, and we're spreading that out over this current year. So that's where you'll see a bump there as well. So I did mention last year we finished off with a $48,000 surplus. This current year's budget that the board will be presenting at the AGM does expect an $84,000 shortfall. So the sort of money that we were able to accumulate in last year's budget is going to help soften the blow for the season ahead, and that's just kind of where things are at. So we want to just let you know like how things are actively going, because we're actually already through quarter one of our fiscal year, and we just want to let you know how things are currently going so far. So what you'll see now is our donations for July through the end of September, and you can see the past 3 years comparison. And so what you'll see is like we're doing really well. We're ahead of last year in terms of donations. We're not quite where we were a few years ago. But we're in a really good spot, and things are consistent. There are also some things that we've been paying attention to that really help us understand what our donor base looks like. And so what we've noticed is that over the past 12 months, we have 156 donors who have made 12 or more donations. So essentially what that means is we have 156 donors who over the past year have been giving at least monthly. And that's an uptick from where we were a year ago, which is great because consistent donations has been huge, especially in this challenging season. In a particular note that we're celebrating is those who are giving through pre-authorized debit or recurring credit. We're currently at 137 donors who have committed to automate their giving in such a way, which again is a significant uptick from where we were a year ago. And this has really been helpful, especially in these challenging months, to just know that we have the support of our community, that people have made their donations to our church just an automated, regular part of their family life, and it's been huge for us, especially because we are coming through, some of our more like quieter months in terms of giving, and we're entering the season where quarter two for us is where giving has historically ramped up. And so this is what donations have looked like over the past few years in terms of how much comes in each quarter of the year. So again, we've just finished quarter one. We're entering into quarter two, and historically, October through December is when we bring in over 40% of our donations for the entire year. So what that means is we're doing really well. We've been very stable through COVID and what it's thrown at us. But the reality is we're also heading into some significant months where, in quarter two, we're budgeting to bring in $450,000 worth of donations over the next 3 months. And we're trusting that it's going to happen, but we're also being prepared and ready to pivot and sort of handle whatever life throws at us. So that's a bit of a snapshot of where we sit currently.
Terrific. Thanks, Kurt. And the reason that we bring this forward to you is partly to keep you informed so you know what's going on. We want to be very transparent with everything. But the other part is just to say thank you. Thank you to those of you who have continued to give during these uncertain times. Thank you to those of you who have given sacrificially. And thanks to those of you who have been really thinking about, well, what part are you going to play? How are you going to give going into the future? Because now we have a sense of where we need to go in the next few months. We want to inform you of that because we need your continued support and help. So thank you, everybody. And a big thanks to Kurt for pulling this together. Can we give it up for Kurt this morning?